Welcome back to my channel, or if you've been here before, hi, hello, my name is Carrie. Welcome. Today we are going to be doing a grocery store haul. Alex and I were just laughing a minute ago because we were talking about what if I called this an emotional grocery store haul. I don't know what I've decided to title this video, but I woke up today feeling anxious and emotional. And I kind of am at the point of my day today where I actually felt like filming this video for you guys, but my thought process behind it was like, I can only film this today. I can only muster up the energy to film this today if I just show up as I am right now, instead of going and putting on makeup and getting all ready and then coming to you guys as if I'm having a really good day, because honestly, I'm not. And I posted on my Instagram stories this morning and I said, I'm feeling anxious and emotional. How are you all feeling? And I got so many responses back that people were feeling the same way. I think the way of the world right now, and just being human beings, we have ebb and flows of emotions, and that's totally normal. And some responses I got back, people were feeling motivated and energized and happy, and that's life. There are days where we're gonna have good days, we're gonna have bad days, we're gonna have bad seasons, we're gonna have good seasons, and that's just the way of life. So today I'm showing up to you guys as I am. Ironically, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp, which this couldn't have come at a more perfect time with how I'm feeling today. I've talked about BetterHelp in multiple other videos before. I've also talked about how I wholeheartedly believe in therapy, and I've also talked about how I had a therapist in California who could no longer be my therapist here in New Zealand because she could only have clients in California. So that brings me to one of my favorite things about BetterHelp, is that they are worldwide. BetterHelp is not a crisis line, it's not self-help, it's professional counseling done securely online, and you can start communicating with a professional therapist within 48 hours. BetterHelp is committed to helping you find the best therapeutic matches for you, because finding a therapist is kind of like dating. You need to feel people out a little bit to get to know them. So BetterHelp makes it really easy and free for you to switch and change your counselor so that you can find the best match for you. It's also more affordable than your traditional offline counseling, which is huge, and also financial aid is available. Another cool thing about BetterHelp is that they have counselors with a broad range of expertise, over 15,000, which is not always available on a local level. You can log in anytime and send a message over to your counselor, and you'll receive a response in a timely manner. You can set up weekly video calls with your counselor, and you'll never find yourself sitting in an uncomfortable waiting room like you would in traditional therapy. If you feel like there's something interfering with your happiness or something preventing you from achieving your goals, then definitely check out BetterHelp. My viewers can get 10% off of their first month if they go to betterhelp.com/rad. That's betterhelp.com/rad for 10% off of your first month. You can check out the link I've left for you guys in the description box. It is time to get into this grocery store haul. I'm having a bit of a flashback to some of my earliest videos. I believe that the first video on my channel that exists is a Trader Joe's haul. Hi guys, let me see if I'm in the frame here. Yes, I am. Okay guys, so I'm going to be showing you some stuff that I got from Trader Joe's today, and I'm packing it away right now, but I figured why not do a grocery haul? I just got some stuff that I wanted to show you guys, so let's get into it. That's definitely something that I miss about the US. I loved me a good old Trader Joe's. I don't think that it was available all over the US, but in certain parts. Anyways, loved Trader Joe's. Now I'd say my favorite, I haven't been to Pack and Save yet, which I know some people have said that they really love Pack and Save here in New Zealand. I personally, in my area, love Countdown the best. We also have New World as an option, which I have totes from New World. But I like the selection at Countdown. I specifically like the organic selection at the Countdown there, and I feel like they have a little bit more things that I'm interested in picking up. So in this first tote, we're just gonna get right into it. I got several of these. These seaweed snacks are so good, and in the bigger size, they don't sell the different flavors. I personally like the spicy ones that they have. I think it's like the chili seaweed snacks, but these are really good too. They're just the original. And so it just kind of tastes like roasted seaweed. It doesn't really have a specific taste to it, but I like getting the bigger packs because I go through these so quickly. So I think I got about 4 of these. I already ate one in the car on the way here, but I just feel like they're a pretty healthy snack and like a good go-to when you just want to nibble on something. This is natural sea salt coarse. We actually have a salt shaker that grinder, whatever, that we need to put more coarse sea salt into. So we got this to kind of fill it back up. That's something that we normally really like doing, buying things in bulk and then putting them into their required jars. When we were living in LA, that's what we did really often. But being here in this temporary living situation, we're currently at Alex's parents' batch here in New Zealand, kind of their place here in New Zealand. No one's living in the house, so we've been lucky enough to spend so many months here while we're looking for our own home to just be, it's just such a beautiful, comfy place. And yeah, we just feel so grateful that we've been able to stay here. And so we've just been getting, you know, we don't have our jars here, our jars here and everything like that. So we've just kind of been buying as if we are on vacation for a very, very long time. So we normally last with the groceries that we get for about 2 weeks here. So it lasts us a long time. I'd say we average at spending about $300 at the grocery store. Sometimes $350 here. When we went this last time, we spent over $400 only because we had to get a bunch of stuff for this space because we are moving out. We wanted to make sure that we leave extra paper towels and toilet paper and like olive oil and stuff like that, that the family, when they come, it's all here because obviously when we moved in, we used all of those things. So we wanted to kind of like replenish. We average out at about $300 to $350 for the 2 of us at the grocery store, which probably sounds a bit high to some of you in the US, and it might sound a bit high to some of you in New Zealand. We cook everything at home. We really don't go out to eat much at all, especially during these phases where we're home for weeks at a time. When we're traveling, we buy a bit less because we know that we're gonna be going out of town or whatever, but when we know we're gonna be here for weeks at a time, we'll buy a bunch of stuff and we'll freeze what we need to. It's also more expensive because groceries just can be more expensive here in New Zealand. We're on an island, so we're living on the North Island right now, and there's also the South Island of New Zealand. So it's a little bit more expensive to import some goods here, and so things are just, because of that, a bit more expensive. Specifically, things like garlic can be a lot more expensive. So local garlic here in New Zealand is actually much more expensive than Chinese garlic that's imported. I normally always buy local garlic anyways because I just like to support the local farmers here in New Zealand, but I find it fascinating, so I feel like you guys might too. This is olive oil, which we needed to get because we were completely out of it. These are some natural walnuts. This is an example of something that I would buy in bulk. When we move into our homestead, I'm gonna try to find a kind of local grocery store that sells more in bulk so that I can put them into a jar and kind of go along like that. Here are some pumpkin seeds, which we really like to put into a coleslaw that we do quite often. You guys need to go ask Alex for that recipe because it's so delicious. He makes it all the time. It's kind of how we get all of our veg in for the week because we love it and it's really healthy and delicious. These are some authentic corn tortillas. These are gluten-free because they're made from corn. They are made in New Zealand, but being Californians, we are very specific about our tortillas, about our salsa, just things like that, because being from California, and specifically Alex being from San Diego, he was right on the border of Mexico. There's a lot of gorgeous, authentic Mexican food, and it's definitely harder to find here in New Zealand. I will say that we can cook up some pretty mean Mexican food just because, you know, we grew up with it, and so we kind of just like have developed a taste for it. Obviously, we can't cook it nowhere near authentic, but we like to cook Mexican food a lot at home because we miss it. That's definitely another thing that we miss about California is the Mexican food. So these we have found to be some of the best corn tortillas here in New Zealand. So we pick those up every time we go. Whitaker's chocolate. This is a legacy. This is like the OG, you know, the queen, the king of the chocolate here in New Zealand. Whitaker's since 1896. Alex picked up this dark block, which, okay, I'm into. If it were me who grabbed the chocolate and threw it in the basket, I would have put in the Hokey Pokey or potentially even the caramel one. I like dark chocolate. It's much better for you, and that's probably why Alex threw this one in, but Hokey Pokey, guys, it is as good as they say it is. I love Hokey Pokey ice cream, and yeah, so this is everything butter. It has hemp, almond, peanut, pumpkin, chia, sesame, sunflower, and flaxseed. This Alex really loves putting on like a gluten-free toast in the morning for breakfast. This has a lot of seed in it, and there's nut in there, which is so good. Seeds and nuts are so good for you. I'm trying to be better about implementing them into my diet. That's why this pumpkin seed in the coleslaw thing is so nice, because I have a hard time just snacking on nuts. I don't love the taste of them, but I'm trying to get better at that because they're just so wonderful for you. Coconut water. I love coconut water. I just find it to be so wonderful whenever I'm feeling dehydrated or like kind of slow and groggy. I have a glass of coconut water, and honestly, I feel so much better. Whenever I'm picking out coconut water though, I always check the back to make sure that it's 100% pure coconut water and that there's no added sugar, because if I'm gonna have coconut water, I want pure coconut water. I wanna get all of the good benefits. I don't want any sugars or anything like that. If I did, I would be, you know, like drinking a soda or something. The reason I drink these is because they make me feel so good because of all of the wonderful benefits that the coconut gives me. And so I just wanna make sure that it's pure. So if you like coconut water too, just double check that stuff, because unless you like it with the sugar, then that's fine. But I like it. I like to know that it's just 100% pure. I kind of went to open this earlier. These are Lanka's treats that he really enjoys here in New Zealand. They're called VitaPet or VitaPet. And these are little chicken tenders, and he just enjoys them a lot. I went to open it, and then I realized that I already had a package opened. And so I gave him the last bit of the other one, so I can open these now and kind of show you what these look like, but he just loves them. They're like little chicken tenders. He's in the other room right now. He can probably hear me opening his bag, and he's probably has his ears up right now. Baby leaf spinach. This is another thing. Once we get onto the homestead, we will be growing most of our veggies like we did in California. One of the things I love about having a veggie garden is that when you go to the grocery store, you kind of only gotta get those things that you can't grow yourself. So things like spinach we were growing, and we never really had to buy these bags like this. That's another thing that I love about having a veggie garden, is that you really do save on plastics and kind of these like one-use plastic situations where if you're growing it at home, you just go to your backyard and pick it up. So that's really nice. And also, spinach goes bad so quickly. We're really good at eating everything. We like find it fulfilling and like kind of fun to like get through things. Whenever I have an empty bag of something, I'm always like, look, we finished it. It's something that we like doing. So we don't really, you know, let these go bad. We'll throw them in a smoothie if we have to just like really get through all of it. But how easy does spinach go bad in the refrigerator? So quickly, so fast. And so having it growing in your backyard is so nice because you can pick it when you want it and it doesn't have to go bad. We have some almond milk, which can be more expensive here in New Zealand. It's nothing crazy, but most of these almond milks are imported. Is this one made in New Zealand? It is made in New Zealand, this one. So that's probably why we picked this one, because it was a better price. Some of like the almond milk brands that I know of are more expensive because they're imported from the US. So we found a New Zealand almond milk, which is good because we use it quite often. Here's some more of my seaweed snacks. And then this looked really good. We've never tried this before, but it's crispy, crunchy granola. And it has raspberries, cashews, buckwheat, amaranth. It's an ancient grain that's new to me, but it's really, really good for you. It kind of has the texture of like popcorny or like popped rice. Really good for you, and a hint of maple. So this is gluten-free. Alex has been trying to get more gluten-free options lately, so this looks really good to mix in with some yogurt. I got a cucumber because I already have cucumber in the refrigerator, but I just wanted to make sure that I had enough. We won't drink this. This is a white wine. It's a Riesling. This has no interest to us in drinking. Not that we don't drink wine, but this is just like one of the cheapest white wines on the rack, just because we like throwing in white wine when we're cooking. So that will be used for that. Just more seaweed snacks in this bag. Avocado can be quite pricey in New Zealand as well. Also kind of all over the world, avocado can be pricey. At some places it's like $4 to $5 an avocado. This one, this whole bag was for $5, so I thought that was a good deal. And then we got our yellow and red onion. We will go through this so quickly because we put onion in pretty much all of our recipes. It's kind of like our base ingredient in everything that we make. I feel like whenever we start a recipe, we're like, all right, let's brown the onions and then do the rest. Then we got some gluten-free ancient grain crackers, or these are like one of those like big crackers that you can like break off, because we got some nice cheeses, which we're here in New Zealand, so you know we got some good cheese. We got some paprika, which can be a little bit more expensive. It wasn't too bad at the grocery store this time around, probably also because we got this kind of like boxed kind, which a lot of the seasonings come like this instead of a plastic seasoning at the grocery store here in New Zealand. I didn't see these as much when I was living in the US, but paprika we haven't had this entire time we've been living in New Zealand. It's harder to find, to be honest. It's not right in front of your face at the grocery stores. I feel like paprika is really common in the US. Countdown had it, which is nice. And we love using paprika when we are making Mexican food. We've got more walnuts. So again, just kind of like another plastic bag that if the bag was bigger of walnuts, or you could buy in bulk, it would just be better. And then we really love artichoke hearts. So I found this little jar of it. It's marinated, and we love throwing this onto a pizza. We got cauliflower crust in here. We love doing a cauliflower crust pizza because it's just an easy recipe when we don't feel like doing something that's like starting from scratch. So we throw that on the pizza very often. We also throw it into salads as well. And then we got a spicy chorizo salami. We like to throw this onto a little cheese board when we want to have a snack, or we also use it when we make a pizza as well on the cauliflower crust from time to time. We needed more chicken stock, so we got some of these cubes. We also just wanted to leave some. We don't use this that often. It's not that great for you, but we wanted to leave some here at the house so that people have it when they come to visit, when they're cooking. Refried beans, going along with the wanting to make Mexican food. We actually make refried beans ourselves sometimes. We have two cheeses here. I got a smoked Manuka, which looks really nice. This is very New Zealand of me. And then Alex got this extra mature cheddar, strong and creamy with deliciously strong flavor. He really loves a really strong cheddar. So we're gonna put those on a cheese board. God, that sounds so good right now. I'm actually hungry. And then we got some coffee. This is honestly to leave here in the house for when family comes as well, because we already have the last of our coffee left. We really love Hawthorne's coffee here in New Zealand. That's from Hawke's Bay. This is LaFair, which is from Wellington. It's been a coffee roaster here in New Zealand for a very long time, maybe one of the first coffee roasters in New Zealand. Don't mark my words on that, but it's been around for a really long time and it's delicious. We went here to the cafe, which is so nice, when we were in Wellington. It's in Alex's Wellington vlog. So good. I love this stuff. I've mentioned it on my Instagram stories before. organic garlic aioli. It is egg-free and vegan. I've never really had one of these in the US. I'm sure they have options like this, but I found this in the organic section at Countdown. They don't have it at New World. And not that I saw in New World actually, but I've only found it at Countdown. And oh my gosh, I love this on everything. It's so good, especially when we make homemade French fries. Oh, I love it in a sandwich. I love it. I love it on veggies, like any roasted veggies. I mix this with, it's just like, I can go through this, you guys, in 4 days. It's just so good. Bananas are nice to have around. We don't get bananas that often, but we decided to get them this time. We had them last time, and I made a banana bread out of 2 that were going bad, but they're great for smoothies, great for breakfast when you're just like running out of the house and you need to throw something in your belly. These are my weakness. You can only get them in New Zealand from what I understand, and they are corn chip tortillas. This one is a cheese flavor, this one's jalapeno. I think jalapeno is my favorite. I love these to just snack on, and I'm not normally a snacker on like corn chip tortillas, but because they taste so good, I got them one time when I was making a salsa. I love making homemade salsa, which I feel like making right after this video. But I love scooping these into the salsa. They're so good. They're honestly, I love them. And mozzarella cheese to go with our cauliflower crust, which we've found here in New Zealand. We got 2 of them because we love them. And also making a pizza at the end of the night on one of these is just so easy, and it can be so delicious when you don't feel like making something from scratch, like I said earlier. So we got 2 of them. And then Alex got this gluten-free bread. I eat it too because it's the bread that we have around now. It's gluten-free and dairy-free Bogles. This is really nice, delicious bread that if you are gluten-free or dairy-free, highly recommend this because I'm not gluten-free and I love that bread. Now we're going on to the veggies, guys. We've got this big old bag. We usually bring smaller bags that are like this material, like little cotton bags, but we only brought this big one, so we just threw everything into this bag and it was fine. They're totally fine with that. New Zealand's like really into to not use a lot of plastic, so when you walk up to the checkout like this, it's not a big deal at all. So we've got a leek. We grew leeks in LA, so I can't wait to try growing them again here. We've got some bell pepper, red cabbage. Oh, so we love both the green cabbage and the red cabbage. Also something that we grew in LA, which I can't wait to grow again. The green cabbage. I've never grown red cabbage, but it's amazing when you grow something like this because it's literally the size of your head and you pull it from the earth and you're like, I grew this. So I can't wait to do that again. But red cabbage, it has so many health benefits. It's amazing. This thing makes me feel so good when it's continuously in my diet. I love making a coleslaw with this too. Along with the red cabbage, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 apples. Oop, don't fall off. And then we got 2 broccoli heads like this. These veggies aren't more expensive than your average, just the garlic. So these are local garlics. I think I got 3, maybe 4. I got 3 garlics. So these are New Zealand grown garlics. They put this right next to the like Chinese imported garlic, and it's so much less expensive for the Chinese import garlic. It makes me sad because it's like, you know, this is like local, it's just more expensive. So I don't know, I always kind of go for those. And then tomatoes, can't live without tomatoes, especially because I love making salsa a lot, and tomatoes just amazing. I could eat a tomato just like, I know a lot of people probably are so grossed out by that because a lot of people don't like tomato just the way it is, from what I have gathered. Then we got kiwis. New Zealand kiwis, of course, 4 of them. Kiwi is not because of the kiwi fruit, which I thought that back when we first visited New Zealand, and then I realized that it was because of the kiwi bird. So maybe if you didn't know that, you just learned something new. A lot of people think it's about the fruit, but it's about the bird. And then we got 4 lemons here. So that is, well, this fell on the floor for a reason because I didn't show you guys this. We got a Cholula hot sauce when we were in Countdown. We get very excited when we see things like this because this is very just like California to us, this taste. Although this is made in Mexico, it tastes like home. Obviously California is right there next to Mexico. I mean, everywhere you go in California, you're going to see a Cholula on the tabletop there. No matter if you're in a Mexican restaurant or not, you will see Cholula hot sauce there. So we haven't had this in months. We did have a bottle. We actually bought a bottle from a Mexican restaurant in Wellington because we didn't realize that they sell Cholula at Countdown. They might even sell it at New World, but we just didn't see it because everything like this is in a specific Mexican aisle in the grocery stores here. You know, depending on what grocery store you're at, it could be like a very small section. Sometimes they're a little bit bigger. We asked the manager at a restaurant, we're like, can we buy this off you? So he sold it to us for like the price that he gets them for. Then we realized that you could just get it at the store here. So that was kind of funny when we first got here, but we ran out of that and we really haven't had this since because we just hadn't picked it up. So it'll be nice to add that into the mix. We also got a thing of chicken thighs and some of this yogurt. I had to throw it into the fridge when we got home, obviously, because I didn't want it to go bad, but I really love this Just Greek yogurt. I normally get the culinary version of this because I love using yogurt for different sauces when we're like doing a curry or when we're just making, like when I want something that kind of tastes like ranch dressing, just like a healthier version of it, or sour cream, things like that. I use this a lot as sour cream. I usually get the culinary version of this, but this is the, they didn't have it at this Countdown. So this is the unsweetened with authentic Greek cultures in it. So we really like this brand when it comes to yogurt. Alex also got this kefir, which is really good for your gut to consume, so that's good too. And then we just got some chicken thighs, which I don't think you guys want to see raw chicken thighs. I'm already feeling a lot better than I did this morning. It's amazing how we can just shift our energy a bit, especially if we have something to focus on and something to kind of keep our mind off of how we were feeling. But honestly, waking up this morning, I just felt, it's weird when you can't pinpoint exactly what it is that shifted your energy. I think it had a lot to do with kind of my dreams in the night and how I was sleeping, but I just woke up, I remember just kind of thinking like, why am I crying right now? But like, it's okay, let's let it flow. And it's about being okay with how you're feeling and just working through it and being honest with yourself and your partner and the people around you in life. I just like wanted to kind of keep everything in at first, and then I was like, why? And I just told Alex, like, I feel like this and I feel like this and I'm thinking about this and I miss this person and this is how I slept and blah blah, and I just kind of vented to him, and he was there for me and he listened and he just kind of validated my feelings. And you don't even need someone to validate your feelings. You can be that person that validates it, no problem. I do that for myself all the time, but it was nice to have somebody to talk to about it and kind of like decompress all of those feelings that I was holding inside. So I'm feeling better. I'm ready to put all of these groceries back right now. My goal moving forward is to start posting 2 videos every week. I have been only posting 1 video every week for quite a while now, and I want to bump that up and then kind of see how that goes, and if it's working, maybe even implement another one from time to time and just kind of see how we're feeling, because moving in and having so much going on in life, I kind of want to get into a better momentum because there's going to be so much to share. So I think these vlog style videos like this, like I'm just shooting this on my vlog camera, I thought about doing the big one and getting out the DSLR, and I was just like, you know what? Let's keep it simple. This is still 4K footage, and it is what it is, you know? We're here, we're living life. I'm showing you what my groceries are, and thank you guys all for watching. Also, thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring this one. I will see you guys very soon in a new video. Thanks for watching.